Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I am Jeff Howard, and I'm on Zoom with Graham High. Hey, Graham.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, so this is Discover Indie Film, a podcast, and we are doing a 4 questions episode, which means Graham will answer these 4 questions. I'm like being I almost want to redo it, but I won't redo this one. All right, so for the 4 questions are name 3 favorite films, not the 3 best of all time, but just 3 films that you love. A film you consider underrated, a film you consider overrated, and a lesser known film that people should seek out. But before I even let Graham answer, I'm going to tell everyone that you should watch the film Housesitters. Graham directed and produced with some very wonderful people the film The Housesitters. It was at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival in 2022. Took home awards for both of the leads. Erin, Pineda, and Matt McConkey both got a lead performer award, as I like to call it. And wonderful film, hilarious. Graham is the team. They're going to put it on. It'll be on YouTube. There will be a link that you can watch it, and in the show notes. And by the way, if you listen to the podcast before this one, you'll hear a nice hour-plus interview with Graham and learn all about Graham and the Housesitters and how it came together and how they happen to make an incredibly funny, really fun comedy horror film. You know, it's funny. I didn't bother saying that, like, I have a theory on horror and comedy, which is the reason why they really are the best genres is because those are involuntary responses.
That's good.
Right? The scare and the laugh are involuntary.
Right.
Like when you're watching a drama, you're bringing something to it, right? Like you're like, right? And you're thinking it can be intellectual and this and that. But I cannot fake a laugh and I cannot fake a scare.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. And that's why comedy horror is like really... When you combine comedy and horror on screen together, I think it's kind of magical. So that's a theory I've been kicking around, probably because our 17-year-old came home 4 years ago from a sleepover party where she saw her first horror films, like because the bunch of girls stayed up all night watching horror, and she came home and announced she would only watch horror from now on. And so I've been watching like 1 or 2 horror films, like all through COVID, we were watching horror. But anyway,
yeah.
All right. So that's the introduction. Now I'm just going to ask Graham to name 3 films that you love.
I'll just say as a caveat before I dive in, I'm a little bit of a baby with horror. I mean, I enjoy it okay, but I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. So you may notice, you're scared. I mean, that's
the 17-year-old pretends she hates sitting next to me. But she says, the film didn't scare me. Your reaction scared me. Because I just my legs and arms flail up every time there's a jump scare.
Same here. Especially if I'm in a theater, I'm just like, ooh, the sound. But it's fun. It makes you feel alive. So no horror. I don't think no horror in any of these films we're going to talk about. But I respect the genre. 3 favorite films. All right. So I appreciate you say just 3 faves, and I'm just going to acknowledge these are all bro movies. I'm not trying to seem like a very cool, well-versed cinephile. I'm pretty standard bro. First one is the first film I ever loved, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm not saying the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Last Crusade is what I got. I loved that film when I was a little boy. Had it on VHS. I watched it. It was like the one I watched like every other day one summer break, and I fell in love with Indiana Jones and the adventures with his father.
Yeah, that's the Connery one.
Yeah, Sean Connery. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the ones from the Raiders, and I would gladly say Raiders is the better film. But Last Crusade just has some beats I really appreciate, and the father and son dynamic works really well for me, and it's one of those movies. Some people say it takes too long. Every time I watch it, it's like I'm like so glad I have a movie that is just like love. I just love it. Like it's just rooted to some part of my psyche, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I have that. I don't need to over intellectualize it. I Just
And it's a favorite because I love that you clued right into the meaning of the question because it's a favorite also for when you saw it, right? It reminds you of a wonderful time of life too.
oh yeah, and I think it's the first time I like really it felt like a grown up movie too. Even though there's kiddie elements to it, it felt like I was a big kid watching like a grown up movie with real stuff happening. So yeah, it's I go back and revisit the original trilogy, but especially that one, every few years. I'm not somebody who watches something once a year. I can't do that. But if it's on, I'll gladly watch it. Second one is MacGruber with Will Forte. I love how silly that movie is, and it's so dumb. And I will go back and watch it every couple years, or just watch it on YouTube. Like Val Kilmer just passed, and everyone was watching like Top Gun or Tombstone, and I was like, time to watch some MacGruber clips because Val Kilmer is the baddie in there. I don't know if you've ever. I can't. If anyone says I hate MacGruber, I don't blame them. It's based on an SNL joke where Will Forte is just trying to disarm a bomb, but he's such a loathsome and sad, pitiful character. Like he just alternates between being like the worst guy ever and being like the most pitiful loser ever. And the pendulum swings are so fast that cracks me up every time.
I'm going to confess to you something that well, so I haven't seen it
That's
and I
fine.
know of it. And but I will say I'm going to make a point of watching it because I'm a huge Will Forte fan. And I think like that, he had that sitcom Last Man on Earth. I think
Oh
that's one
yeah.
of the funniest things that's ever been done. And what you said about the character is similar. That character on Last Man on Earth is often like
Hmm.
the most loathsome person of all time.
Yeah.
And then he redeems himself and then he's loathsome again. So, and I think Will Forte is just a treasure. So,
Oh yeah.
and I look, I'm the age MacGyver was on TV when I
Oh
was in
yeah.
high school or whatever. So I know what he's making fun of too. So
Oh
I
yeah.
can't believe I haven't seen it.
I mean, I loved MacGyver too. I mean, I think that may be part of it. My mom definitely watched it, and I watched it right along. And he was smart and cool, and he solved problems. And MacGruber is not that. It also like looks pretty good. It's like one of those like if you ever watch like Key and Peele, where the comedy looks really high end, like they really shoot it like a film. MacGruber, they really try to shoot it like a film. It's not an ugly film. And if you like action movies like I do, it just plays those tropes. So, but again, if you watch it and you turn it off and you say, Graham, you have no taste because of MacGruber, I'll accept it. I could take it. That's how much my love
I mean,
for MacGruber.
the fact that you named Key and Peele, we, I, I've seen the entire series probably 4 times,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
and we'll watch it again. And not just because me, Keegan Michael Key, and I are twins.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what he looks like.
After but anyway, please go
Yeah.
on. So question. Oh,
Yep.
you get one more.
You get one more. This is a little bit out there, but it's Killing of a Chinese Bookie. It's a John Cassavetes film. Um, So, similar like MacGruber, I watched in theaters and I laughed about it, and then I just keep showing people and laughing. Killing a Chinese Bookie is like I watched it right when, and this is a John Cassavetes film from like 1978 or something like that. And it's Ben Gazzara is like this cabaret club owner. Like it's not quite a strip club, it's not quite burlesque. And he owes money to the mob, and they're basically like put him in a position where he has to commit an assassination. So it's like a kind of Scorsese-esque kind of a plot, but it's John Cassavetes who did like Woman Under the Influence. I'm sure you know, but I'm just setting up people may not know. Just a very kind of cool, loose, off the cuff style of filmmaking. And I'm not saying it's John Cassavetes' best film, but it's his most genre film. And obviously from this and what I'm talking about and the other films, I love genre. I love kind of thrillers and crime. he does this really cool deconstruction. Like the lead character that Ben Gazzara does is not your typical hero. It's meandering, like he's a sweet guy. He's kind of like MacGruber. He's a little loathsome and he's a little bit pitiful. And and it showed me Cassavetes. It was the first Cassavetes film I saw, and I was like, I didn't know you could make movies like this. And yeah, so I think Killing of a Chinese Bookie is one I go back to, and if it's playing at the New Beverly Cinema, I'll go and watch it. And every time I watch it, I'm like, okay, there's something new I didn't quite get the first time. It's not particularly deep film. It's just a very lived-in kind of sloppy crime movie. And I would say recommend watching the shorter version. There's two. One that's like 118 minutes, one that's like 93. So definitely go shorter. Oh, lost my earplugs here. But yeah, Killing a Chinese Bookie. I don't know if you've seen that
I mean,
one,
it's a well famous film. Yeah, that's a definitely a touchstone, especially for indie film.
Yeah, I mean, I love more than his films. I mean, I love Cassavetes' films, and I'll go back just because how enigmatic they are for me. Like, I don't quite get him or where it's going, but his ethos is something I respect immensely. Just the fact that it was all him and his friends, and that's something that I aspire to. Having that kind of creative freedom and that creative fingerprint on your work. And if I made anything, I mean, I'd love to be, if I made a Cassavetes film, it would be more like Killing of a Chinese Bookie or what was the other one you did? Gia or something like that. The more genre ones. But yeah. Love that film, even if it's immensely frustrating at the same time.
Well, excellent. Well, the question number 2 is a film you feel is underrated.
Another bro choice, but it's Jackie Brown. I started as a Tarantino bro, and I'm somebody who, and I know everyone's like Tarantino's overrated, but if you look at his catalog, I feel like Jackie Brown is the one that I'm like, it keeps giving me things. Keep surprising. I keep getting surprised by Tarantino and the soulfulness he has. And it's beautiful in this very like 90s way, like the way they lit it and the way he shot it. It's very patient. The performances are very measured. When I first saw it, I just wanted like a Pulp Fiction 2, and I was a little disappointed. But obviously, we've talked about aging in the other episode of this. The more you age, the more Jackie Brown, I feel like will probably be sweeter. And Pam Grier and Robert Forster give beautiful performances. So I guess my main point is I just wish Tarantino went down that path more, like going more the soulful part. And I really enjoy Kill Bill and Glorious Bastards, all that stuff. I enjoyed Once Upon a Time, but I just kind of wish we had a world where Tarantino got mature with me or ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's something I wish I had more of, like that artist that kind of grow.
I get you, and I know people do call him overrated. That's a tough one for me because I mean I do think a lot of the work is excellent. He's been really prolific, so not everything is the same caliber, but there are. First of all, the first two are really special.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually do feel that Inglourious Bastards might be his apex for me. But I get it. Yeah. But then a lot of stuff he just does for fun, and you know what? He's allowed to have fun too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I was looking over other underrated movies, and I'm like, yeah, I think for me in my world, I'm like just in my bro universe of cinema.
For
Jackie
sure.
Brown feels like
Jackie Brown it is. Well, the next question is a fun one.
Yeah.
Which is a film you feel is overrated.
So that has to be Oppenheimer for me. I haven't done the temperature taking of it, but I watched it in the Chinese theater. It was like the 70 millimeter or the digital IMAX was huge, and I was like, I'm doing the thing. And I was a little underwhelmed emotionally. I think Nolan's a really smart guy. I appreciate what he's doing. I'm not like a Nolan head, but I watch his stuff. It was one of those feelings I had in the theater where I was like, oh, that was fine. I think he kind of missed the mark. And then like he makes $1 billion and wins all the Oscars. And I was like, oh, I'm on a different planet here. I think so. I think for me is like a similar thing. Like I was talking about Jackie Brown, like these bro filmmakers. I keep wanting them to go deeper, more soulful. And I thought Nolan could have gone more soulful, but instead he did a character study that was like big and bombastic and a little loud and obvious for me. And that was my fault for going on and being like, we're going to get like these really intimate, deep moments. So, or maybe I just drank too much IPA before I watched the film. I mean, I'm not the ruler here, but
No, for sure. No, totally valid. And by the way, I'll say, I would just add something before we jump to the last question, which is, also back in my day, you would definitely see a film more than once. Like because I was the VHS era, I realized other people have these things called DVDs or something, but I actually barely got into that before and before they were gone. And like I do wonder what would happen if we all saw Oppenheimer twice or three times. Like, you know what I mean? Like my opinion of films often change on repeated viewings. Sure. And I don't live in a world where I get repeated viewings anymore, except for the festival films.
Right. Yeah. That's.
Oh, we have a Zoom freeze, so I'm just going to chat.
I watched Oppenheimer once, and this one guy's sort of. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's funny. That's pretty funny. Just listening to or rewatching one 7-minute short film, 5 times, and Oppenheimer gets one go. Yeah, I'm sure that Oppenheimer would reap dividends the more it's watched. I think I was also debating saying that Tenet is underrated because I prefer Tenet to Oppenheimer. Where it's like, Nolan's just dumb, Nolan just being dumb and big and loud and just not trying to be soulful is better for me than being like, this is a really deep thing and not quite hitting it. But again,
it's also, I think it's well, anyway, we should do your last question, but it's also about expectations, right? When you have no expectations, you get a very pure version of the film. But like when we all saw Oppenheimer, like it was a big, right? Like you can't see a Nolan film without expectations. You can't see a Tarantino film without expectations. But the best way to see a film is with no expectations. But then if you've seen something, whether you loved it or not, that second time, your expectations are realistic, so to speak. You know what you're getting into, and then you can appreciate it for what it is sometimes. I
for sure.
I am aware of that.
I'm guilty of that. I walk in assuming I know what it's about or what I want out of it, and maybe it's just something I need as a viewer to seek out or to find. But again, Oppenheimer is a fine movie. It deserves all the awards it got and all the money it got. I'm glad he got it. It was just one of those situations where I felt like I was on another planet, and I'm not going to like say Nolan sucks, he doesn't get it, or whomever. I'm just kind of like, I wish I was in on the fan club.
Yeah, that one wasn't for you. All right, well, the very last question is a lesser-known film that people should seek out.
This one's kind of getting a little love already, so if it's obvious, but Sorcerer is one that I saw at the New Beverly by William Friedkin. Really enjoyed it. It's a really badass thriller. Roy Scheider. I mean, and that's one that I watched once, and it's such a pure, like, cinema experience that I had that I'm like crystallized And I'm like, man, now that's a movie. Just trucks that could explode at any moment, basically. But yeah, that's one. I mean, I'm looking over these. I'm like, I do watch other movies that aren't just thrillers and things blowing up. But I was like, I'm going to stick with the bro.
Hey, you threw in a comedy.
Yeah,
and you threw in an indie classic, and you threw in, Jackie Brown is the least broy of all the Tarantino films.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Can I just say one, maybe an alternate for the four? Just like one that I saw that I had a heyday, but Italian for Beginners is on the Criterion Channel. So I want to do one that's not directed by a man. It's not American, but as part of the Dogma film community back in the 90s. But this one isn't like a drag. Like, it's a sweet romantic comedy. And, it's not too sophisticated other than it's just like really compelling characters interacting with each other and going through their life. So if you're rolling your eyes, if you haven't got this far, Italian for Beginners is one that I watched in the past couple of months. So I was like, oh, what a pleasant film. Check it out on Criterion Channel.
Wonderful. Excellent. All right. Well, hey, we made it.
Yeah, we did. I took up your entire night from your long day.
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. All right. Well, let me do the quick wrap up, which is there will be clickable links in the show notes for Graham's film, The Housesitters, as well as any social media or anything he wants to share with us. Heck, even if you just want to like, hey, I love this whatever Instagram, you can do whatever, anything you want us to check out.
Sweet.
And actually, for sure, include like Erin and Matt's. Yeah, if they've got websites, because Lord knows people should dive deep on those two talented people
for sure.
And you and a lot of your work. So there we go. This is the Discover Indie Film Podcast. Please like, subscribe, write a review if you want to be really nice. Kindness is kind of short in this world. You'll feel better after you do something kind. Kindness can be selfish. Be so kind to everyone you meet that you get to go to sleep feeling great. All right. That's
very nice.
Yet another soapbox. So if you want to learn more about this podcast, go to discoverindiefilm.com. @DIFwins is the handle for all social media. If you go to discoverindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit that runs both Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Film Invasion Los Angeles. There, I named them both. Sherman Oaks Film Festival we hold every December. We're about to have the 10th anniversary, so you can learn more at ShermanOaksFF.com, and it's at ShermanOaksFF on social media. The other one I named, Film Invasion Los Angeles, is every June. We just held the 10th anniversary, so you can see that one at FilmInvasionLA.com, and it's at FilmInvasionLA on social media. And they are getting a cousin in South America named Film Invasion Lima in Lima, Peru. That's January 2026, because, of course, it's winter here in January and it's summer down there below the equator. So looking forward to it. Or near the equator. I'm not sure if it's specifically, but I probably shouldn't say below the equator. I think it's just near it, because Lord knows the equator's in Ecuador. Oh my gosh. I used to have a good geography sense. All right. So anyway, Graham, thank you for doing this. This was a pleasure.
Oh, Jeff, thanks so much. Thanks for chit-chatting and listening and filling my mind with some thoughts as well. So I really appreciate it.
Excellent. And thank you for Housesitters. It was a pleasure. It'll always be in my heart as a favorite. And I hope lots of people watch it. Deserves it.
Really appreciate it.
All right. And if you are listening right now and I'm talking to you, thank you for listening. And have a great anything. Day, night, week, year, month. All right.
All of it.
I will talk to you soon, I hope. All right. Bye, everybody.